The Industrial Revolution was a change of new manufacturing processes. This occurred between the years of 1780 and 1840. In this time zone, there were changes within the way people lived. People worked in factories rather than on farms, and there was an increase of population within towns and cities. Urbanisation occurred. Urbanisation was when people migrated from rural areas into towns and cities in order to seek work within these factories. Overall, the immediate effects were negative. This was due to the fact that the lower class had moved to these urban areas, which meant they had lost all their free space, which prevented them from playing rural recreation such as mob football. There was a lack of leisure time, which changed from their seasonal times to machine work time. This was because they had a 6-day working week alongside a little wage. They would only get time off due to religious periods. There was poor health, poor hygiene, and pollution. These all led to a lack of energy. Poor health and poor hygiene was relatable to their poor living conditions. Furthermore, the pollution meant they were incapable of working as effectively. They had a lack of public provisions, which meant they no longer had access to private facilities, no more personal equipment for the lower class. This was done probably because where people had thought they're getting money, they can get it themselves. The reason the lower class had moved into towns and cities was because they were promised many things which they did not get. For example, they were promised to get shorter working hours, a better wage, better health and hygiene, and better living conditions. Not one of these they received. They had lost their rights, which meant they had a restriction placed upon mob football, which also led to a popular recreation becoming unpopular and banned by authorities. This was done because the games themselves were violent and uncontrollable when played. Many injuries occurred and, in some cases, deaths. Damages to properties. This was all occurring due to the way in which their society lived, which was harsh, violent, and is still uncontrollable. Gambling and wagering was involved by the upper class. It also linked to the consumption of alcohol. This also allowed for drunken behaviour, which increased all the uncontrollable behaviour. Towards the second half of the 19th century, there was an overall positive effect. This was because they got many of the things they were promised, such as they gained better living conditions, which means they can sleep and live in a clean living condition. They received better health and hygiene conditions, which for many people it was good, as if they did fall ill, they could be helped quicker and get back to work. There was also a local council provision. This meant not so many restrictions to what people could do, such as playing rational recreations. A three-tier system of classes developed. The middle class was introduced, who eventually took advantage of new business opportunities. Overall behaviour and the way sport was played had changed. This was due to the rules, leagues, facilities being made. This allowed for teams being made and to go against different teams in the league. There was a lack of space, which led to purpose-built facilities being built, such as stadiums for individual sports. Furthermore, where there was a large increase in working class, there was a greater demand for entertainment, which supports facilities being built. Traditionally, sports such as mob football were no longer allowed, so new sports had to be developed, emerge. which meant traditional sports had to be adapted to meet standards of the current times. A change in the working conditions, as there was an increase in the attendance to the working class. Factories created teams, as this allowed for more recognition, which allowed for more workers to work in that particular factory. It also increased the health and fitness of the workers that were on the team, and a more disciplined workforce meant the workers were more reliable to the factory.